Today's lesson is about chain rule of derivatives. Let's go to do now first. Given f of x equals 3x minus 5 squared, find the derivative of f of x. What about f of x equals 3x minus 5 to the 10th power? Since we already learned the power rule, we need to expand this first. We get 9x squared minus 30x because 2ab, 3x times negative 5, then multiplied by 2, then plus 25. Therefore, f prime of x equals power rule. 9 times 2 is 10x minus 30. What about f of x equals 3x minus 5 to the 10th power? You can do it by expanding this binomial. Then do the derivative, but it will take a long time. There is a way to figure out this kind of questions. That is a chain rule of derivative. If y equals g of u and u equals f of x, then dy dx, we will use this formula. Dy dx equals dy du times du dx. Basically, for chain rule, it's about the derivative of composite function. When you have a composite function, y equals g of f of x, then y prime equals, we will take a derivative of g function, then times derivative of f of x. For example, if I have y equals g of u and u equals f of x, then dy dx equals, so for u sub n, use the power rule first, n times u to the n minus 1th power. But don't forget to multiply by derivative of u, that is u prime. For square root of u, we know derivative of square root of x equals 1 over 2 square root of x. Therefore, derivative of square root of u, 1 over 2 square root of u. But don't forget to multiply by u prime. For derivative of e to the u's power, that is e to the u's power times u prime. For a to the u's power, it will be a to the u's power times natural log of a, then times u prime. Just do not forget times u prime, because u is a function of x. We are looking for dy dx. Natural log of u will be 1 over u times u prime. For log base a of u will be 1 over u times natural log of a times u prime. For sine of u, the derivative of sine of u will be cosine u times u prime. For cosine u, it will be negative sine u times u prime. For tangent u, it will be secant square u times u prime. For cosecant u, when you do the derivative of co-function, you will get negative cosecant u times cotangent u, then times u prime. For secant u will be secant u times tangent u, then times u prime. For cotangent u will be negative cosecant square u, then times u prime. Just do not forget times u prime. Let's go to the example. Let's go to guided practice 1. Find the gradient function dy dx for 1. 2x plus 7 to the 5th power. We assume 2x plus 7 is u. So we are supposed to figure out u to the 5th power. When we do the derivative, it will be 5u to the 4th power by power rule, then times u prime. So we will get 4 times. This u will be 2x plus 7. 2x plus 7 to the 4th power, then times 2x plus 7 derivative. We know the derivative of a linear function will be the slope. So we get this is a 2. 2 times 5, it will be 10 times 2x plus 7 to the 4th power. That's your answer. Let's go to number 2. 6 times negative x to the 3rd power plus 2x minus 5 to the 4th power. This will be u. We are looking for 6u to the 4th power. When we do the derivative equals 4 times 6 will be 24, u to the 3rd power by power rule, then times u prime. So we plug in here. That equals 24. U is negative x 3rd power plus 2x minus 5 to the 3rd power times negative x 3rd power plus 2x minus 5 prime. We need to figure out this derivative. That is negative 3x squared plus 2 by power rule. So your final answer will be 24 times negative x 3rd power plus 2x minus 5 to the 3rd power, then times negative 3x squared plus 2. Let's go to number 3. First of all, we will change this into power form. That is 3 times 5x minus 4 to the negative 3rd power. We will set up, this is u. So basically we are looking for 3 times u to the negative 3rd power. That equals power rule. So we have 3 times negative 3 times negative 3 minus 1 is negative 4. Then don't forget derivative of u, that is u prime. So we get negative 9 times 5x minus 4 to the negative 4th power times 5x minus 4 prime equals 5x minus 4 prime equals 5. Negative 9 times 5 is negative 45. Negative 4 is negative exponents. 5x minus 4 to the 4th power as a denominator. This will be your answer. For number 4, we will make this is u. So we are looking for cubic root of u. Do the derivative. That is u to the 1/3 power, we do derivative, which means 1/3. U to the 1/3 minus 1 will be negative 2/3. Then times u prime. For u to the negative 2 over 3, we can write down 1 over cubic root of u squared, then times u prime. We will plug in here. That is 1 over 3. Cubic root of u will be 4x third power minus 3x squared minus 9 squared. Then times 4x third power minus 3x squared minus 9 prime. Then simplify. We will get derivative of 4x third power minus 3x squared minus 9 by power rule 12x squared minus 6x. Denominator 3 times cubic root of 4x third power minus 3x squared minus 9 squared. We can reduce. Common factor is 3. So top and bottom, we divided by 3. That equals 4x squared minus 2x over cubic root of 4x third power minus 3x squared minus 9 squared. Let's go to number 5. Derivative of 7 over square root 3 minus x squared. This is u. U equals 3 minus x squared. Basically, we are looking for 7 over square root of u prime. We do know 1 over square root of x prime equals negative 1 over 2x square root of x. Therefore, we can write down negative 1 times 7 2u square root of u, but don't forget u prime. Then we can plug in. So we get negative 7, 2 times 3 minus x squared times square root 3 minus x squared times u prime will be 3 minus x squared prime. That equals negative 7 times 3 minus x squared prime will be negative 2x. Denominator stay. So your final answer will be 14x. 2 times 3 minus x squared times the square root 3 minus x squared. For number 6, this will be u. Basically, we are looking for 3u squared derivative. That is 6u times u prime. So we get 6 times x minus 3 over x third power, then times x minus 3 over x third power derivative. 6 times x minus 3 over x third power times x minus 3 x to the negative third power prime. So we have 6 times x minus 3 over x to the third power times derivative of x is 1 minus 3 times negative 3, because this drop down when you do the derivative. You will get negative 9 times x to the negative fourth power. So we have 6 times x minus 3 over x third power times 1 plus 9 over x to the fourth power. This will be the final answer.